Last offseason, there was a lot of talk about the merit behind Paul McBeth choosing to switch up his schedule and head over to Europe early to compete in more European-based Disc Golf Pro Tour events. And I wanted to take a look and see, was it actually worth it? Did it help him? Did it hurt him? And this is what I found out. So the stretch that we're talking about is from DDO to Kansas City White Open here in the United States. It's from June 16th to about July 9th. That is the time frame in which Paul McBeth missed U.S. events and competed in European events. During this time, there was 4 U.S. events and 4 European events leading up to PCS and the European Open. Those 2 events specifically, I did not count it against or for Paul in this regard because those fields more or less had the same people in it that a normal US-based event would have. So diving into the stats here, I'm looking at the top 40 in total points scored plus Parker Welk, just to give reference for some of these numbers. So during this time frame, Paul was 4th in total points during this time, 13th in counted points, because if you don't know, the Disc Golf Pro Tour drops certain events, so not all your events are counted. So he was only 13th in points counted, which actually put him 38 of 41 in points counted percentage, with only 58% of his points counting during this time period, which was a stark difference between the group average during this time frame of 90%. So though he was scoring well and performing well, the points that actually counted towards the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship was very low compared to everybody else. There's a couple of different things that we can take into account here. Statmando has a field strength metric, and as you can see here, the 4 events that Paul played in were all below the 4 US events played by the rest of the field. So these points that Paul was earning were easier to earn than if he were to stay in the United States. Unfortunately, the other half of this is Paul got injured during this time frame and was not able to complete the European Open, and we actually only saw him one other time after that point. I'm not sure if the trip is the exact reason for the injury. Only Paul would be able to tell you that himself. Not having the proper amenities or routines that he normally has could have played a part in it. So in my opinion, if it was Paul's goal to get as many points as possible and win the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship, unfortunately, I don't think heading over to Europe early was ideal, and I don't think it necessarily helped him in this case. But if it was his goal to play in front of a new audience and grow his brand worldwide, I think he succeeded at that last year in 2023.